When AI storms the halls of art, the fight to rewrite the rules of America's cultural industry. In the spring of 2023, an AI-generated song called Heart on My Sleeve exploded across streaming platforms. It perfectly cloned the voices and styles of Drake and The Weeknd, yet neither artist had anything to do with it. Universal Music swiftly had it taken down for infringement, but that ghost track had already fired the opening shot in the collision between America's cultural industry and artificial intelligence. Over the next 3 years, from Hollywood writers' rooms to record label boardrooms, from newsrooms to Capitol Hill, a cascade of strikes, lawsuits, legislation, and billion-dollar deals unfolded. Every round is dense with revelations, redrawing the boundary between human and machine in the creative world. The first line of defense was built by unions. In 2023, the Writers Guild of America went on strike for 100 in final contract. Studios cannot use AI to write or rewrite literary material. AI-generated content cannot be treated as source material to dilute a writer's credit or compensation. If a studio gives a writer AI-generated material, it must be disclosed, and while writers may use AI voluntarily, the studio cannot force them to. Right on its heels, the performers' union SAG-AFTRA struck for 118 days, with the core demand of locking down digital replicas. The final deal stipulates that if a studio scans a background actor and uses that digital replica even once, the actor must be paid at least the minimum daily rate. Any future reuse requires the performer's consent and payment. For virtual performances synthesized from a deceased actor's footage, the union secured bargaining rights. The producer must first negotiate with the actual person or their estate. These two contracts, in black and white, built a moat around human creativity. The music industry then mounted a full-chain counterattack, evolving from takedowns to hunting down alleged infringers. In March 2024, Tennessee enacted the Ensuring Likeness, Voice, and Image Security (ELVIS) Act, explicitly including a person's voice under likeness protection for the first time, making unauthorized AI voice cloning a crime. That June, the 3 major labels, Universal, Sony, and Warner, jointly sued AI music companies Suno and Udio, accusing them of massive, systematic infringement. The details in the complaint were chilling. Some AI-generated tracks still contain the producer tags or watermarks from the original recordings in the training data, making it almost certain the models were built on copyrighted catalogs. If the court rules in favor of infringement, these AI companies could face injunctions and staggering damages, potentially upending the entire generative music business model. The visual arts and news sectors are equally ablaze. Image giant Getty Images sued Stability AI, alleging it illegally scraped millions of images to train Stable Diffusion. A federal judge has ruled that the core infringement claims can proceed to trial. Meanwhile, the U.S. Copyright Office drew a clear line. Images created entirely by AI are not eligible for copyright protection. Only works with a substantial threshold of human creative input can be registered. The fiercest clash erupted in journalism. The New York Times sued OpenAI and Microsoft, accusing them of using millions of its articles without permission to train their models and allowing ChatGPT to reproduce paywalled content verbatim, directly siphoning away readers. On the other side of the divide, News Corp, the Associated Press, and others signed paid licensing deals. News Corp's 5-year agreement with OpenAI is reportedly worth $250 million. With lawsuits and licensing deals running in parallel, America's content industry is being torn into 2 parallel worlds: a red infringement zone and a green licensed belt.
Beneath the rulemaking battles, real job losses are already here. A report released in early 2024 by consulting firm CVL Economics found that 75% of entertainment executives acknowledged AI had already led to job eliminations or reductions within their companies. The report projected that by 2026, the U.S. film, television, music, and gaming industries will lose nearly 204,000 jobs directly to AI, with visual effects artists, sound engineers, 3D modelers, and subtitle translators hit first and hardest. While AI is certainly creating new roles like prompt engineers for a vast number of skilled creative professionals, the cracks to slip through are far narrower than imagined. Looking back at these 3 years, every branch of America's cultural industry has been forced to answer the same question. When creation can be generated infinitely at near zero cost, how do we price human value? From the strike negotiating tables to the federal courtrooms, the answer is being poured into every punctuation mark of an agreement and every sentence of a complaint. This is not a final act where humans lose to machines, but a long campaign to reprice creativity and redraw the borders of rights and responsibilities. For the rest of the world watching, the United States is writing the first human-machine coexistence contract with extraordinary density and leaving no room for ambiguity.